Yes,
How
bro.
you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good, brother.
Thanks for taking the time out, man. It's been a long time coming. I appreciate you coming down there today.
It's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing.
So, how you doing? You good?
Everything's blessed, bro. I can't complain. You know, just been cracking on, working, family, the Most High. Everything's blessed, bro. You know, can't complain. Still smiling in it. That's the main thing.
Fresh still.
You know, as fresh can be. You get me, bro? Got me a little gruff and that, but you know, I'm feeling good. That's the main thing. You get me, bro?
Okay, bro. Let's get straight into it then. So, for
Yeah,
people
man.
who don't know, man, tell us who you are and where you're from.
My name's Josias, known as Big J or JJ. Originally from Rusholme. Well, grew up in Rusholme. Grew up in the Moss Side area, like more Old Trafford, Zesborough Road as a youth, as a young'un. But then moved to Rusholme and grew up there for the majority of my life growing up as a young'un. So originally from Rusholme, and then mum moved to Stratford at a certain point in my life. So then I had my little growing up season from the age of probably about 16 in Stratford. 16, probably about 16, 17 onwards in Stratford, yeah. But originally Rusholme.
Okay. Yeah. Where were your parents originally from?
They were born over here, but mum's side is St. Kitts, a small island in the Caribbean. Dad's side is from Jamaica, and my dad's dad is from South America. So yeah, a little mix there, you get me?
You got an interesting mix there. So with those like totally diverse backgrounds, what was like your household growing up like for you? Like what was your like early most childhood memory you can remember?
Growing up, I used to live with just my mum, innit? Like my dad and my mum split up from young. So I grew up with living in the household with my mum and my two sisters. Yeah, there was just me and my eldest sister for a period, but then my younger sister come along after a couple of years. I used to live with my mum. I can remember a period when I lived with my mum and my stepdad, my younger sister's dad. I lived with him for a while, for a good couple of years. But yeah, you know, it was mum used to go to church, so mum used to take us to church, you know, and then yeah, lived in Rusholme with my sisters as well, you know, so yeah, that's pretty much.
What was church like? Would you remember your mum taking you to church as a kid? Like what was that experience like for you?
Bro, I used to hate that, innit?
You used to hate going to church.
Oh, bro, I didn't like that at all.
What was that like on a Sunday? Was that almost like you were dreading doing or something you looked forward to? What was Sundays like?
It was we used to go on a Saturday, innit?
Okay.
Because the church that we used to go to was Seventh-day Adventist, so we used to go on a Saturday. Me and my sister, we didn't like it at all, bro. The reason being, when you're young, when you're that young as well, yeah, you got other things you want to do in it on a Saturday. yeah, bro, yeah. Your mum used to put some slacks on me and all that, them pants, you know, them cord pants and all that, you know, them put on a little shirt and all that. My brethren might be chilling on road, having a little play, football, whatever, and I got to go to church, you know what I'm saying?
So did you see them as you were passing en route on your way to church, your brethren be having a kick about doing whatever?
They used to see me coming out of my house, yeah, and say, where you going? Say, go to church, innit? You know what I'm saying? So every Saturday I used to have to go to church, but obviously there was a lot of Seventh-day Adventists used to keep the Sabbath and all that as well. So, you know, we used to have to, I remember on the Sabbath we couldn't really watch TV until the Sabbath was done. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, couldn't play my computer till the Sabbath was done. There was little things like that I didn't like in it. Do you know what I'm saying? little things like that we didn't like. Plus, obviously, the church that we went to, there was little rules and regulations that I couldn't wear my hat in church. You know, I used to like to wear my hat. I couldn't wear my hat. I used to have to go to church and put on like cord pants. You know what I'm saying? Cord pants and shirt and stuff like that. I couldn't be bothered doing all that. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? So, didn't really like it as a young gun at all. I kind of rebelled. Didn't like it at all.
Wasn't for you?
No, it wasn't for me.
Talk to me about school and what school did you go to? Like, let's start with primary. What primary school did you go to?
Went to Our Ladies in Wally Range.
Mm-hmm.
Went Our Ladies Primary School in Wally Range. Me and my sister. That was alright. Quite a few people from around the zones went there. So it was like a lot of people from the local community. They all went to the same school. I went to Our Ladies. Our Ladies was an alright school. It was a good school. We had a good bunch of friends in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good school. It was decent.
What about high school? What high school did you go to?
I went to Trinity. I should have went St. Thomas Aquinas because that's where the follow-on school was to go to. But I didn't get accepted in there, innit? So I went to Trinity in Hume. Yeah, I went there.
Tell me about your first day at Trinity then. What do you remember of your first day?
My first day? My first day, I can remember my first day. I can remember, it's hard, to remember, yeah. It's hard to remember because I can remember vaguely my first day going in a classroom, and I can remember getting in there and kind of connecting up with one, two of my brethren that I end up turning into my mates in there. But I can't remember fully my first day. You know what it is? It's probably blazed too much weed. I blazed too much weed to kind of remember fully. But I can remember me going in there and meeting up with a couple of people that become my friends in school. Do you know what I'm saying? A couple of people that become my friends in school. Because I was one of them kids that got along with people anyway. I made friends easy. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was pretty much. I can't remember exactly though the first day, but it was cool though. It was blessed.
Tell me about your whole experience with high school then. What was high school like for like a young teenage lad back then? Because what year did you start high school? What year did you?
I left in 2000.
Okay.
Left in 2000, so I would have started in, what would that be?
Like 97, 98.
Yeah,
so
about 97.
What was
96.
high school like for you then, for like experience wise? Like, was it a good experience? Was it a bad experience? What was it saying?
I enjoyed it. I made it, it was fun for me. It was fun. It was a good experience. Still, it was fun. At the same time, yeah, for me personally, when I got into high school, I started to get other interests in it. Like, that's when things started to change, you know what I'm saying? Started to get interest in, smoking, weed, and all these different stuff. So for me personally, yeah, my high school days kind of was a bit of a cloud nine, should I say, because I started to veer into other things, you know what I'm saying? So I was going to school, but then more times still, I'd be going to school and I'd be high in the class. I'm not a theory kind of guy in it, so I didn't like to do education. I didn't like to do schoolwork. I didn't like to do homework. I'm more just practical. When it comes to like practical stuff like music tech or food technology or PE or something like that, I was blessed, that I'd give it my all. But like when it comes to like theory side of things, sit there listening to teachers and all that, my concentration kind of was not good. Do you know what I'm saying? I kind of get a bit distracted and things like that. But I was more I used to more like running jokes and having a laugh in there and listening to my music. I used to go in there and I'd be sat in high school and I'd have my earphones and I'd have my earphone going through my sleeve. I sat there in the class like that, leaning to the side. I got my music playing, do you know what I'm saying? But school for me was more of I learned, but I weren't interested in learning like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I weren't interested in learning education and stuff like that. I couldn't find myself to find an interest in doing it personally, to tell you the truth. If anything practical, spot on, I'd do it. But when it comes to education, it weren't for me really, kind of thing. I get a bit distracted or bored. I get bored, do you know what I'm saying? And then my mind will veer onto something else. You know, I was a thinker as well, so my mind would just go into something else, do you know what I'm saying? But other than that, school was blessed though. Like, blessed when it come up to like building friendships and, you know, growing up, you know, in the school environment. That was cool, but just the education side of it, I weren't like that kind of guy that was going to come out with A's and this, do you know what I'm saying?
So, okay, tell me about what your lifestyle was like at that point in time outside of high school.
Outside of high school, my lifestyle was different because them times I was moving with my little firm of boys, of the man them on the road. You know, we'd probably be into like smoking weed, playing computer games, girls, you know, little girlfriends and so forth. And then obviously in the community that I was living at then, in Rusholme, there was a lot of activity going on with like with gangs, and you know, we was young, but we was around it while it was happening. So there was a lot of stuff going on with gangs in the community. You know, there was you know, we're seeing older peers in cars and stuff like that. So mate, you want a car? Do you know what I'm saying? You know, weed. When we started smoking weed, we need to have money so that we could buy the weed. But obviously you can't go to your parents asking your parents for money, because they'll be like, well, what do you want money for? Do you know what I'm saying? So then obviously them times we used to do our little bits and bobs. So we might do little street robberies and things like that. We got into doing little street robberies and, you know, just things, little naughty things that you shouldn't really probably be doing. We started to get involved with stuff like that for the simple fact of that we had a habit to feed. You know, we had a habit to feed. So in school it was just a bit, my mind would always be thinking about what I'm doing when I get out of school. I'd go to school because I had to go to school, because if I didn't go to school then my mum's going to have something to say and she's going to be wanting to, you know, ground me and this and that. So I'd go to school, but when I was in there my brain was distracted because I'm more thinking about when I get out, I've got this weed or I've got that, or I'm going to go check my boy, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Then I have some boys, some of my brethren that were in school because they got kicked out of school. Do you know what I'm saying? So more times still when I'm in school, yeah, I'm thinking about going out and chilling with them. Do you know what I'm saying? So my school, high school for me, it was more, it wasn't like primary school. It was more of me kind of exploring and finding, you know, myself in what I want to do, what I feel suitable for me. And you know what I'm saying, along with trying to keep it masked, because obviously I got a mum in it that was on my tail. Do you know what I'm saying? My mum was on my tail. My mum was one of them that didn't play about it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of juggle it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Tell me about what your lifestyle was like at that point in time outside of high school.
Outside of high school, my lifestyle was different because them times I was moving with my little firm of boys, of the man them on the road. You know, we'd probably be into like smoking weed, playing computer games, girls, you know, little girlfriends and so forth. And then obviously in the community that I was living at then, in Rusholme, there was a lot of activity going on with like with gangs, and you know, we was young, but we was around it while it was happening. So there was a lot of stuff going on with gangs in the community. You know, there was, you know, we're seeing older peers in cars and stuff like that. So mate, you want a car? Do you know what I'm saying? You know, weed. When we started smoking weed, we need to have money so that we could buy the weed. But obviously, you can't go to your parents asking your parents for money, because they'll be like, well, what do you want money for? Do you know what I'm saying? So then obviously, them times, we used to do our little bits and bobs. So we might do little street robberies and things like that. We got into doing little street robberies and, you know, just things, little naughty things that you shouldn't really probably be doing. We started to get involved with stuff like that for the simple fact of that we had a habit to feed. You know, we had a habit to feed. So in school, it was just a bit. It was a bit. My mind would always be thinking about what I'm doing when I get out of school. I'd go to school because I had to go to school, because if I didn't go to school, then my mum's gonna have something to say and she's gonna be wanting to, you know, ground me and this and that. So I'd go to school, but when I was in there, my brain was distracted because I'm more thinking about when I get out, have I got this weed or have I got that, or I'm gonna go check my boy, or I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Then I'd have some boys, some of my brethren that were in school because they got kicked out of school. Do you know what I'm saying? So more times still when I'm in school, yeah, I'm thinking about going out and chilling with them. Do you know what I'm saying? So my school, high school for me, it was more, it wasn't like primary school. It was more of me kind of exploring and finding, you know, myself in what I want to do, what I feel suitable for me. And, you know what I'm saying? Along with trying to keep it masked, because obviously I got a mum in it that was on my tail. Do you know what I'm saying? My mum was on my tail. My mum was one of them that didn't play about in it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of juggle it. Do you know what I'm saying?
What were your friends like that you were moving with at that point in time? Like, I know you mentioned to me absent fathers and whatnot, but
Yeah.
what was going on in their own personal lives, the guys that you used to move with back then?
Different ones. You had some that was pretty much all of them were from broken homes anyway, broken families. So it weren't like the mum and dad was living together. It was I was just living with the mum. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, so we was all kind of in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? It was all in the same boat kind of thing. And obviously, you know, your mum can do her best with you, but she can't teach you how to be a man. Do you know what I'm saying? One thing she can't do, teach you how to be a man. So at some point, yeah, you're going to go out there and you're going to find your way of how you think a man should be. Or, you know, and then and you can't really go to your mum and say, oh, mum, you know, is this how you know, well, me personally, I won't go to my mum and say, oh, is this how I chat up a girl, or is this how I do this? And then you're gonna go, yeah, and do your own thing. You're gonna go to your mum, oh, mum, is this how you chat up a girl? And you know what I'm saying, your mum be like, what, chat up what? Do your schoolwork, focus on your schoolwork or something. But obviously, you know, you can't go to your mum with certain things, you know, because obviously your mum's not going to understand it. Like, you know, especially when you're younger, you're going to look at your mum, your parent, as though they ain't going to understand that. They're just going to tell me to do this and tell me to do that. So you're going to go find your own way. Do you know what I'm saying?
What was the relationship like with you and your mum during that period then? Because like you said, she was like on your case. Yeah. But then at the same time, did she see kind of like the path that you were heading down at that point in time?
To be fair, yeah, me and my mum's relationship's always been blessed. My mum's a good woman and she's always done her best with me, do you know what I'm saying? She's always done her best. She's always been supportive for me. She's always given me, you know, what I needed and whatnot. But, you know, so me and my mum, we had a good relationship, but half of the time I used to hide things from my mum, innit? I could hide things from my mum. I think my mum used to get inklings, innit? You know, she used to get inklings, but always, yeah. I'd be hiding things, innit? You know what I'm saying? I can remember when I used to blaze weed and that, yeah. You know, I used to hide it, do you know what I'm saying? I'd hide it, like, you know, if I was up to anything at all, like something's happened on the roads or the streets, I hide it. But then as I got older and certain things started to happen, like getting arrested by police and that, it started to open my mum's eyes to certain things. Do you know what I'm saying? And then obviously around the local community, as I was getting older, my mum would start to see me, see me chilling with my mates, and then she might, see me, acting in a bit of a different way or whatever. However, she got the inkling, do you know what I'm saying? But I know she was on it. I know she was seeing certain things, because that's why my mum had actually moved from Rusholme to Stratford to get me away. Do you know what I'm saying? To get me out of that environment. So she must have been clocking.
She identified something and be like,
she identified something. Do you know what I'm saying? And there was times here where, there was period of times when, there was mistaken identities, people getting shot back them times, innit, when we was young. There was people getting shot, mistaken identities, young lads though. So also that as well. And then obviously I was a guy that always wanted to be on the roads. My mum never used to always want me to be on the roads, but there'll come a time where I'd be out on the roads doing my thing. So then obviously my mum's probably fretting in the house, thinking, because obviously I dressed a certain way, I looked a certain way, started to speak a certain way, my persona, carry myself a certain way as you're growing up. It's going to attract that kind of attention, do you know what I'm saying? So my mum would have clocked all these things in me growing up, and seeing her son growing up into a young lad, where it could attract the wrong attention for me to get myself in a predicament. Do you know what I'm saying? And then also, my mum, she would have probably seen me when I got arrested from police, for certain things and whatnot. That's when she kind of got a bit exposed to, even though I used to say, nah, it wasn't me, the lying, I don't know what to talk about, I didn't do nothing, yeah. And obviously she probably thinking, well, do you know what I'm saying? There's got to be a bit of truth to it, do you know what I'm saying? But she was supportive to me all the way through anyway.
Do you remember the first time you got arrested and then your mum finding out?
I can't remember the first time I got arrested ever. I can't remember, but I can remember distinctively some times that I got arrested.
Without, obviously you don't have to go into details or anything, but then how did that kind of make you feel at that point in time? Because obviously you were moving a certain way, on them and everything, but when you actually get caught and arrested for something, did it kind of change your mindset at all at the time, or did you make you think, right, if I'm going to do it again, I'm just not going to get caught next time?
Yeah, that's more if I'm going to do it again, I got to be more smart about this, innit? Because obviously it's exposing things to my mum, and I'm having to lie to my mum, say, oh, nah, I didn't do that really, don't you know what I'm saying? I didn't do this, I didn't do that, do you know what I'm saying? So it's more, well, I've got to be smarter, do you know what I'm saying? I've got to be smarter. But then as I started to get older anyway, your mum, as you start to get older, they've got to kind of let go a bit more. You know what I'm saying? So as I got older, my mum started to let go a little bit more. Because not let go in the sense of just do what you're doing and whatnot, but she had to let go and let me find my way and let me go through certain motions, because she couldn't stop it no more, innit? Because if I'm out there on the road, she can't be holding my hand, watching where I'm going and what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm saying? So it started, as I started to get older, it started to become a thing where my mum just started to, I think, obviously as a Christian that she was, I know she was praying in it, praying and probably praying and just thinking, you know what, I just hope and pray that it turns it around or whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? But she was always supportive though, always supportive.
Okay. Once you moved out of the area, then once she moved you from Rusholme to Stratford, did anything kind of change for the better then, or were you still kind of going back to Rusholme doing what you were doing?
I was still going back.
Still going back.
Yeah, but we didn't want to move. Even my sister didn't want to move. We didn't want to move from Rusholme. He's like, nah, we don't want to move. We stay here on our own, always giving it. Do you know what I'm saying? We'll say, yeah, but you stay there, pay the bills and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? But we didn't want to move in it. I didn't want to move. So obviously when my mum moved to Stratford, I was travelling all the way back, because I was in these times. I was in a gang in it as well. Do you know what I'm saying? I was actually rolling with the man. Them. I was with my guys. I was doing my thing. So my guys are back down there, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? So what I used to do is I used to ride my bike all the way from Stratford to Rusholme, and then I used to ride my bike. Sometimes I catch the bus. And sometimes if we had a whip, I'd drive down. You know what I'm saying? That's how I used to roll. But I was always going back to Rusholme. Stratford didn't interest me at all in the slightest.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? Like, you know, then moving to Stratford, then obviously, like, if you've been used to living in Rusholme and everything, what was like the community like where you moved to in Stratford? Was it total opposite, or what was it like?
To me, it felt like I was miles away. Felt like I was in the other side of the country or something, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I was in some different place, you know what I'm saying? I thought, what? This is something different, you know what I'm saying? But it felt low key though at the same time. Because obviously in Rusholme, yeah, you know, with the stuff that was going on in Rusholme, we had to watch our backs, you had to this, you had to be always on point, you had to watch out for 5-0, this, that. But when I moved to Stratford, I felt more free. You know, I could walk about, I could get about, not really have to worry about anybody. You know, there was no history there, do you know what I'm saying? It was like a fresh start in it. So, but I would always take myself back to where I'd just come from. I'd always take myself back. It was like I was used to that. I got immune to it, got immune to always watching over my back, got immune to, you know, watching over my back and seeing, you know, the activity that was going on.
You know, you mentioned to me, like, at which point that you actually were in a gang. Were they sort of guys that you were just moving with, like, you growing up with, then you started to kind of, like, clash yourself as a gang, or is it just kind of like a band of friends that started just getting about together? How did it all come to a point where you thought, right, we're actually a gang now?
Well, at first we was all mates, all of us. Yeah, I can remember when we was young in Rusholme, everyone used to chill as mates, you know. Like, even the guys that ended up fighting against the other guys or the opposite guys, we was all mates. Everyone used to chill, everyone went to the same school, you know what I'm saying? But I can remember when we was younger, one of the main things for us, we used to chill with a group of us. And I can remember bonfire wars, you know, bonfire night. We used to split up into teams, innit? So, you know, one side, these would get with their firm, they would get with their firm, and then we'd end up having bonfire wars. So then that's forming like a little bit of a division anyway, if you know what I'm saying, because it's yous against us kind of thing, you know. But obviously them times you're not really looking at it like that. You're just looking at it as bonfire wars. But then I can remember, like, obviously my section of guys, we would chill with each other, and then the other section of guys, they would chill with each other. But what happened is we kind of stuck in Rusholme around my streets, and then the other lot, they branched out a bit more further down in deep, you know, into more near Rec Park sides, you know, them ways. And then before you know it, they've ended up getting with some olders there, olders influencing them or whatever's going down. And then obviously we're up our sides doing our thing, do you know what I'm saying? And then lo and behold, before you know it, it turns into something else. And then as we got older, we got with our olders, and then we kind of like, okay, we got certified with them. It's like, okay, we're down for this neck of the woods and they're down for that neck of the woods, and before you know it, it formed into something, do you know what I'm saying? It formed into like a little firm of guys, you know. And you know, back in the day, I was a fighter, innit? So I was a guy that liked to scrap, you know. So I could fight from young, innit? So I was a guy that was scrap, but not everybody's a scrapper, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? So you're going to get people that are going to come with weapons, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? And then obviously you get somebody coming. All it takes is for one person to come with a weapon, then that's it, innit? You know, the other people are going to get a weapon too, because you're not going to really go to somebody with fisticuffs if they're coming with a weapon, innit? Because it don't make sense. You're going to go and get a weapon, and then before you know it, it turns into something else. Yeah.
Do you remember then, like, if we kind of like cast your mind back to that point in time and then you'd actually formed officially into a gang, do you remember, was there any like pivotal moments where you thought, right, this is like getting real now? Like, where it intensified, where it was just like, is this what we're actually about now?
Yeah. I can remember. We was only young, man. I can remember we was young, and some guys rolled up on us, you know, and we was only young. And some guys rolled up on us, and that's when it kind of got serious. Then, innit? Like yo, like I could have lost one's life. Like what? Nah, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when you start to take it a bit serious. Then, innit?
Were you expecting anything at all at that point in time, or were you guys just chilling on your block, and then next thing these other guys have just rolled up, and it's like, what's this all about?
Not to that level. Not to that level. Do you know what I'm saying? Because obviously, like I said, it was a fighter in it. There's guys that will fight, that will scrap, because you know, and then obviously it's like saying, if you're a guy that's willing to scrap, then someone comes to you with a blade or a gun, you can't go to that person and or try scrap that person. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe with a blaze though, yeah, you can think, but when it comes to guns, you ain't gonna go to that person. Do you know what I'm saying? You disarmed straight away. So obviously, when it gets to them levels, then it gets serious. Do you know what I'm saying? It gets serious.